You wake up, open your phone, and boom, tariffs are exploding, the Pope just died, there's talk of World War III, and somehow you're already late for a dentist appointment you didn't even make, and that's just Monday. If you feel like the world is collapsing in real time and your brain is quietly rotting in the background, congrats, you're paying attention. But also, you're being manipulated, not by some secret government, but by your own nervous system, which hasn't been updated since the hunter-gatherer days, and is now processing breaking news at the same speed it once reserved for running from a lion. See, your brain wasn't built for this version of the world. It's running survival software in a content apocalypse. And that survival software has a few bugs, like negativity bias. Your brain prioritizes bad news because, historically, that's what kept you alive. The rustle in the bushes might be the wind, but if it's a tiger and you ignore it, you die. So your attention system evolved to treat all bad things as high priority, urgent, and deeply personal. That worked great when you had to worry about snakes and tribal raids. Now, that system's being hijacked by headlines, hashtags, and YouTube thumbnails saying, you're not safe, and it's getting worse. It's not just that things are bad, it's that your brain believes bad equals true. We're wired to think negativity equals realism, which means optimism feels fake, and anxiety feels like awareness. You don't trust good news, you just assume it's propaganda. That's why you can read 99 good things and one headline that says, global conflict imminent, and suddenly you're preparing for nuclear fallout like it's 1962. The news didn't change. Your ancient biology did what it always does. Panic now, think later. And the worst part? This is just the beginning. You weren't meant to know this much. Seriously, your brain was built to manage about 150 social relationships, spot the occasional predator, and remember when the berries go bad. That's it. That's the whole system. Instead, you're now force-feeding it thousands of global tragedies every day in real time with HD thumbnails and royalty-free anxiety music playing behind it. There's a name for what this does to your brain: the availability heuristic. The more often you see something, the more common or important you think it is. So if you scroll past 5 TikToks about war, another about the Pope dying, and 3 more about the economy tanking, your brain doesn't go, wow, that's a lot of niche information. It goes, this is the world now. You didn't study the news, you absorbed a distortion, and now your nervous system is glitching because it thinks you live in a global war zone, a collapsing market, and the end times, all at once, from your bed, while eating cold leftovers at 1 a.m. And don't worry, your feed is custom built to feed this spiral. Social media algorithms don't reward nuance. They reward what makes you stare, panic, share, or rage. So instead of reading one article about tariffs, you see 12 hot takes about the US and China economically throat-punching each other and what that means for you, like you're personally running the shipping industry. You're not being informed, you're being emotionally harvested, and your brain is loving it because rage, fear, and disgust all light up your limbic system. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between real danger and a viral slideshow about how 2025 is going to be worse than you think. It just reacts, and it reacts hard. Your cortisol spikes, your attention span evaporates, and your window of tolerance narrows to the size of a coffee bean. Suddenly, you can't read a full article, hold a full thought, or trust anything that doesn't scream like a house fire. And just like that, the world didn't get worse, but your perception of it did. Your brain wasn't built for doom next to perfection. That's the combo that actually breaks people. You'll watch footage of a city being bombed, and 5 seconds later, see someone in Bali eating mango on a yacht with the caption, healing era. It's not just emotional whiplash, it's cognitive dissonance at the speed of light. Your brain's trying to process a humanitarian crisis, and a shirtless travel vlogger's how I made $10,000 while sleeping video at the same time. You're being crushed by despair and inferiority, which is exactly how you build a broken worldview. Everyone's dying, and also doing better than me. That's how you slide straight into the comparison spiral. You're not just consuming content, you're ranking your life against everyone else's most manicured, algorithmically boosted highlight reels. You think the world's falling apart and somehow still believe it's your fault you're not thriving in it. This is classic social comparison theory. Your brain constantly evaluates its own status, purpose, and identity by looking sideways. But now, sideways includes people with editors, facelifts, financial advisors, and wellness brands built on pretending they're relatable. Meanwhile, you're on your 3rd existential scroll session, wondering if your lack of a morning routine is the reason your country is collapsing. And here's the fun part. This emotional contradiction doesn't just make you sad, it makes you numb. Your brain can't hold space for joy when it's overstimulated by terror. That's how you end up feeling nothing in response to everything. You're not apathetic, you're emotionally short-circuited. So instead of reacting to the news, you just doom scroll harder. You dig deeper, you consume more, because your nervous system doesn't want peace, it wants closure. And the algorithm's job is to make sure you never get it. Eventually, it's not fear anymore, it's just fatigue. You're too overstimulated to panic, too emotionally cooked to care, but you still keep scrolling because it feels worse to look away. It's called learned helplessness. When you're hit with too much crisis and too little power, your brain stops even trying to make sense of it. You're not choosing despair, you're just out of bandwidth. And when that numbness sets in, that's when your brain starts rewriting the past. Suddenly, everything before this felt simpler, better, less insane, but that's not memory, it's a coping glitch. It's called rosy retrospection. Your brain smooths over the past to make the present feel uniquely unbearable. You're not wrong for feeling it, but you're not right either, because things have always been messy. We just didn't have push notifications and 4K video of every single collapse. The chaos isn't new, the access is, and all that access doesn't come with control, which is the final twist. Your brain isn't reacting to the world getting worse. It's reacting to the feeling of losing agency inside at it, this is called an external locus of control, when you start to believe your life is entirely shaped by things you can't affect. The war, the economy, the algorithm, the world. So now you feel lost, anxious, and powerless, and your brain's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Sound the alarm, loudly, constantly, with no off switch. You don't need a conspiracy. You don't need to unplug and go live in the woods. You just need to understand this. The world might not actually be getting worse, but your brain thinks it is because it's drowning in signals it never evolved to process. And it's trying to keep you safe, but in the process, it's making you feel like everything is ending.